know.
What up? What up? What up?
You know what it is. You know who it is.
OG Lee in the house. Once again.
Once again.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Thank y'all. Thank you. Hey, it's OG Lee. You in the E. We back with another
in
one,
the place
baby.
to be.
In the place to be.
Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening,
And it's
Saturday night.
It's a Saturday evening. We're being true to the folks. I'm getting a solid red cup. We're gonna throw.
I noticed that, man. I'm like, yo,
these,
he
man.
changed up on me, man.
Mm-hmm.
He got him a real one now. That's smart,
big
though.
Big boy red cup, man.
Yes, indeed, man. I got to do the driving tonight.
Yeah, you know how we do. We safe and sound.
Yes,
safe and sound.
indeed, man.
We can
It's
really
a
walk home from the studio. That's
red
crazy.
cup Saturday. We
blessed on that. But you know how we do, man. We're not just strolling into it like we ain't got things to address, man.
Man, there's always something to address.
How you doing today, man? Because today, as we know, is not like yesterday or like the day before, man. How's OG Lee doing?
Just like a louse today, man.
Kick back.
Just lounged around. Lamping. You know what I'm saying? Lamping.
Kick back. Posted like a lamp.
Posted, brother. Just lamping. Like you used to do on the street corner. Just lamp. You know what I'm saying?
Used to say that?
Yes. That's what you told me. You niggas just lamping, man.
That's a solid term. I could see that coming back.
Yeah.
But we also got to recognize it is a Red Cup Saturday, but it's also Mother's Day weekend.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the mothers out there. Take a sip to that right there.
So now I always was asking the question as you get deeper into like family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mother's Day is for mothers, right?
Exactly.
So like a son, daughter, whatever do whatever for the mother, right?
Yeah.
And now does the husband also do for his wife as a mother?
That is a tricky one. I was gonna ask you that actually, but I'm thinking
because now, like I said, once I started having kids and all of this, they get grown and get married and this and that and all, it get complicated. So I'm like, okay, so like, some people like myself, your mom happens to, have went on.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking now, I don't have a mother per se. So,
absolutely.
You always, of course,
RIP.
the women would be selective with mothers and saying, okay, we'll, take Mother's Day as a holiday from anybody who wants to give it.
Yeah.
But is it just for your mother?
I'm thinking it's just like in the grand scheme baseline that if it's a mother, they got to get celebrated,
So you got to do it for your wife to say you're a good mother.
Yeah, because I'm thinking if your kids aren't,
not that you're my mother, but you're a good mother.
You're a mother, right?
And then the kids give it to them too to say, see, that's the way I think it should be. The kids honoring the mom, saying you're a good mother.
Yeah, mothers have to be celebrated, but it's not necessarily materialistic mindset, but that's what it kind of comes down to. If the kids can't necessarily get something that
everything is
praise,
material now, right?
Absolutely.
Because I couldn't believe how much they spend on how much people spend on something. To me, that I guess it's that big, but damn, St. Patrick's Day. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that was kind of minor, but billions are spent.
Why that specifically?
I just say that because it's not one that everybody looks at like a Christmas, you know what I'm saying, or Thanksgiving or Easter or whatever. Even though those, I mean, if you look at something from a religious standpoint, right? Mm-hmm. What does Christmas have to do with buying a lot of toys? You know what I'm saying? One. Thanksgiving, we all eating turkey. Easter, there's an Easter bunny, and they said that's the day Jesus rose. What does that got to do with Easter bunny? I'm sure there's a story behind it, but I'm just saying, if you go to somewhere like a Walmart, like what month is this? This is May. All right, so probably next weekend they're gonna have shit up for 4th of July. You know what I'm saying?
They're on it. And
then by damn August they start putting out shit for what's October 30th for Halloween, and then right after that they clean up November, Thanksgiving, and then they'll do all the toys. That shit is a money grab.
It brings a topic to mind off of that, right? Mm-hmm. Is capitalism working for you?
Man, capitalism has worked for me, but I'm in
the past.
I'm in the previous generation of it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, capitalism is really starting to show its ugly head.
So hold on. Before you proceed, it worked for you in the previous generation. I can't just. I kind of think I understand, but break it down a little bit. Let me give me what you mean by that exactly.
The in the time when like my parents were coming along, and especially for white people, in like the 60s, right? 50s, 60s, America's just starting to progress, you know, and economically, you know what I'm saying? And so the whole idea is, you know, to get people to work for you, capitalism, right?
Yep.
So now you have these people working for you, and at that time, America society was different. So the people were being paid enough to be able to take care of a family. Huh? So they could go to work like they would do. Wake up. The man went to work, as a matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? He goes to work, he brings home enough with that he does. It could have even been in a factory, whatever. Something we consider menial now. They were paying him enough to take care of his whole family. And then, you know, as capitalism really got going in America, the question was, how do we pay less for things? We want more profits, right?
Yeah, trying to get more.
So then here comes the 60s, and here comes their thing. Oh, we could go over, just like slavery. We went over to Africa, found workers, brought them back. Now we're doing this. We're going over to China, get these people to make shit for like, you know, 5 cents an hour or whatever. We bring it back to America, sell it to the people, right? And we cut out all of the fucking expenses to deal with the workers, the American workers. That kept going, 70s, 80s, 90s, like that, right? China making all of our shit for us. American factories closing down. After a while, a family cannot be sustained with this one guy doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then as you get that, you get more and more women start getting into the workplace. More and more women start getting into the workplace, right? Absolutely. If women get into the workplace, what do? Displace men, right? Once men get displaced, these same people, they cannot find jobs now, right? Because there's a lot more women in there, and now we just don't have the same deal where, you know, you got these unions even, right? Yep. That are saying, hey, you got to pay them a certain amount. Now you got to go for self. Now capitalism's not working for people. And that's why these white men are screaming, make America great again. But there's nothing you're going to be able to do.
Reverse,
you know what I'm saying? No, nothing.
Workforce.
Yeah. You got to just have a specialty now.
That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key, or a few trades.
Yeah.
That you're decent.
You got to have something where you know you could do it. So capitalism was working. You see, like your grandmother, even you go to one place, work for 20 years, you got a good, you know, retirement, good income, investment fund, whatever it is, right? They don't have that so much now, right? Now you might go to a job, you might work 3 years. Next thing you know, somebody says, hey, they pay 5 cents more. They jump into that job, it's not that same. And the corporations don't have the same loyalty to the people, right? So people are just going for whatever they could do. So it's a different society now. Capitalism, when you come along now, it's not working. And the inflation has gotten so high in capitalism to where now when you go to work, you come back, you can't even pay for the shit that's having to do with your necessities, much less what you want to do on hobbies and all that type shit. So capitalism is not working for people nowadays. You know, unless you're specializing, you make a lot of income. Because now the same monies that it took, you know, even 3 years ago, that shit is hitting different. And then they're not raising your salary, right? But they want you to work just as much to produce, right? And where are the profits going if you're honest, right? It's going to the head of the company, right? Or to shareholders or whatever. So people are like, who wants to do that? That's why you have less and less people, especially after COVID, that said, man, do I want to get back into that whole, you know, economic paradigm? I'm not really making that much, you know what I'm saying? To, you know, go do all of this shit, break my ass, do all of this, and it's like, wow. Then they look at the taxes that come out. The whole system is not working as a whole. But now, you cannot fall into that dream of thinking that the people that you see on top, we do see certain people make it, thinking that's going to be you. I'm going to be this gazillionaire. You're not. You're really not. And once you realize that, you realize how people are being taken advantage of.
Now think about this, right? Some people sit back, they see this kind of microcosm breaking down. They see it, they see the large picture, And once you get kind of realistic, it could make you a little, like people say, depressed, right? And on a global kind of wide scale, this is happening in a lot of companies and a lot of situations that people are having.
Oh, of course. Hey, if it's hard for us, if you look at, for instance, the way interest rates make things go up, when interest rates are high, that makes the American dollar strong everywhere else. So that puts pressure on way more people than America. We're very lucky.
Yeah,
our strong dollar puts pressure on these countries, man,
to produce, huh?
Yeah,
what they got, but my
and to pay their debt. See, most of all of these countries, they got to translate their money into dollars before they can do any international commerce usually, right? So that's the deal. It starts costing you more for your dollars.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, but I was saying, I'm thinking about this kind of whole grand scheme thought of it. It's kind of tough, and it's happening to a lot of pressure to a lot of people.
Sure.
So is this kind of depression, is it even being addressed? Is it talked about? Or is it just kind of being normalized at this point? Like everybody will kind of rock out, like, you know?
Well, in economic terms, we're not in a depression, obviously. They're not even acknowledging that we're in a recession, right? But as far as the mental attitude of the people, that's another depression.
That's what I'm going for, yeah.
And all that has to happen is for things to change economically. And this is America. That's what people like, the flow of money. And everything goes back to normal. That's what depresses people when they don't have money. Think about it, man. You wake up, you bust your ass, you get up, and you go to work. This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying that people could get up, one person, and go to work, come home, his wife got the kids shit all nice and gave them their lunch. I mean, their snack after school, all of that. Right? You can't do that now. Right? So you and your wife come home after 80 hours if they pay you every 2 weeks or whatever, right? And you're still behind the 8 ball. And then if you're a relatively young family, you're looking at it and you got the dreams like they say in America, right? So your dreams are maybe like the white picket fence, nice house. And then you realize, damn, baby, right now, with the way shit is going, some of our shit, we got to get on the credit card sometime, right? So what are the odds of us being able to get a house even? And that's the American dream, right?
That make it tough.
So now I can't do that, and the prospects don't look good. See, if the prospects look good, that's what makes America that, right? That I'm gonna have that at some point. The prospects look good. All I gotta do is what? Work hard. But when you look at that and you say, man, we working our ass off, and then sometimes they both have 2 jobs, right? And then you still can't get the things damn near that you need. Of course, there's gonna be a depression, you know, and that's what comes from, to me, capitalism. But if it works for you, you love it. If it doesn't, you hate it, you know? But yeah, there's got to be more cooperative type approaches to shit, man, because people just, I mean, they're being killed with capitalism.
And OG Lee said at one point this capitalism was benefiting you, right?
Well, it benefits me, yeah. It benefits other people too, yeah.
But I'm saying maybe it comes to a point to where it didn't, or some way you found a way for it to benefit you, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that said, though, we just asking New School, what's the biggest kind of aspect of your life that's proven success for OG Lee? You know, a little tidbit can kind of give the New School, you know, we putting it in our bag, not just vocabulary. Anything? The success in your life.
With America, if you live in America, you got to acknowledge that, you know, people's happiness, most people, especially if they're from here, their happiness is coupled with financial success. And if you measure yourself like that, especially with the psychology that most people have, that damn near the more I get, the more I want, you probably never would find happiness. So to me, you got to first look at what do you want to be happy? You know what I'm saying? before you start going with all of this. Because as we just saying, people are depressed a lot of times from the economic situation they're in, right?
Absolutely.
I would rather be in a place where I'm relatively poor if I knew that all my staple things were taken care of, and I didn't have to wake up every day and think about how I got to make money to go to feed and all of this. You know what I'm saying? That type of life, you can't do what if you want to say there's a God, right? You can't do what he sent you here to do. If you wake up every day worrying about paying your credit card off and all of these things and having the best car, the best house, all of this, that's what you're chasing. What kind of life is that? At some point, you got to realize that, the things that you're doing, they have value based on how you want them to fit into your life. But don't tie your happiness and all of that to that. Otherwise, you probably never would be happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So no matter what economic system you're in, you could be socialism, you could be capitalism, whatever system you're in, you got to think outside of that box. You know what I'm saying? And don't put yourself in that whole shit where everybody's talking, look at your car, man. Look at your house. Most people that's got shit, you don't know about it.
So, hey, NEWSKOOL get a little lost sometimes.
I get lost, man, because I start talking about all kind of shit.
They might have said that statement was convoluted if they watched the last episode, but I was with you. I'm following. So
if you caught some of it, what part was convoluted? I try to, elaborate. That's another word we got.
I'm saying it wasn't convoluted for me.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm with you. I was gonna reiterate. You're basically saying a key to some OG Lee success was establishing first a baseline of
what is success. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing you got to ask yourself, and especially if you're married, you got to be in online with that with whoever your spouse is or your significant other, right? What is the success? Otherwise, what are you shooting for? What you waking up every morning for? And in America, it's hard, man, if you're just basing it on money, right? Because that's a thing that other people can control even.
They say it's the root of all evil, and it makes the world go round.
But I'll say this to any young person, man, or any person, period. If you really want something, just work hard, man. Be willing to work hard, and it'll pay off. Because at some point, if you work hard, and also if you got money coming in, it's best to put it in something. You know what I'm saying? That's going along and can kind of keep up with the cost of living, right? And no matter what it is, keep putting it in. Keep putting it in, as they call it, the drip, right? Dividend reinvestment or something like that. But that name is apropos when you say drip, right? Because it's just like if you ever have a plumbing problem, right? And it'll come down and keep doing that, and it'll be on the floorboard inside the vanity or something, just dripping. Today or tomorrow, no problem. But after a while, what you got?
A big old wet spot damage
and a big hole, and it may have been now on the floor under the vanity part. You know what I'm saying? Just from one drip over time. Keep consistent. As long as you do any kind of system like that, in the long run, as long as we still have this system.
Yeah.
But as long as we still have this system in the long run, you're gonna look around and be like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? And that'll help you. Do that. Be consistent with that.
Do you know what that one did?
Oh, this is another thing too. This is another thing which they don't have it that much now. That's another thing too that's different about our capitalism. But your companies used to appreciate you and show you that by giving you perks. And incentive. One of the perks they still do give in some places is they give you like a retirement match, a percentage of your income. There's a maximum. You know what I'm saying? There's a maximum that you could contribute, and then they match that. And then at some point, it varies from different companies. At some point, you get vested, and then, that's your shit, right? So if you got something where somebody's giving you a match, which is basically free money, contribute the maximum that you can. Yep. You know what I'm saying? That helps you too over the long run, because you'll look around and be like, damn, they gave me a lot of money over the years, especially if you stay with that particular company.
The drip. The slowly but surely, the bit by bit.
So that was
every mickle make a muckle.
That led me into saying that was a difference too. That nowadays companies don't really give a lot of these incentives unless you do have some valuable skills for them, but not run of the mill like it used to be.
But I was saying, right? You breaking that down, that drip process, that bit by bit. it brought to me the word of the day, bro.
Word of the day.
In this word of the day, it's a little different, right?
Word of the day.
This was a word that I heard, and I had to put it in my bag.
You put it in your bag.
I had to put it in my bag because I did get a shout out from OG Lee to check out a podcast.
But now listen, did you push it down in your bag all the way down, or is it at midpoint, or is this one that's gonna be like
it's right at the top?
Oh, okay,
it's right at the top because I'm pronunciation even. It's you know what I mean. It's like that. It's new, but it was from the old Rich and Roll podcast with Scott Galloway.
Mm-hmm.
OG Lee shut me out, but I'm listening. You know what I mean? And he hit me with a word that I haven't heard.
And by the way, that person is one of those people who, you know, he's sitting there like damn near a billionaire if he wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Clearly 100 millionaire or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Sitting
sometimes
back.
you could listen to people like that in terms of, you know, the money aspect of it. Because if you're looking at being in America and you want to do some things, or being anywhere, you want to do some things to keep up with the cost of living, make certain investments, right? So if you're going to do that, it would only make sense to say, hey, why not just go with somebody who's proven to have done it, you know?
Yeah. Well, Scott was that guy, so I was tuned in. My ear was listening, right? But he hit me with a word, remunerative.
What?
Remunerative.
Remunerative.
And he slipped it in real quick. I don't know.
That's 5 syllables on that.
I don't know the exact sentence he used it in, but he was remunerative. I was like,
hey, you know what? I gotta know what this one is. I'm anxious because when you got like a 5 syllable or any syllable, right?
it's
You
hard
talking,
to slip in.
but I'm saying you can't fuck it up. Like
You can't.
when you saying that you're gonna use that word, I stay away from 5 syllable words. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's
people
what
be
I'm
like, damn, why you using words, nigga, you can't pronounce? You know what I'm saying? That's when you gotta really remunerative. Okay, remunerative.
Right.
Yeah,
Remunerative,
remunerative.
Hey.
Like you're speaking some kind of foreign shit.
But
Remunerative.
you were saying
that
the
sounds like a
drip.
dance or something.
The drip, you know what I mean? It popped in my mind.
The drip, remunerative.
Remunerative, right? And
Remunerative.
it simply means
Okay.
financially rewarding or lucrative. You know what I mean? So a process of how you're doing something can be remunerative.
That's remunerative.
You know, you haven't been remunerative since a certain time of year, like 2014, you know what I mean? I lost my job, you know what I mean? Shit like that.
Hey,
my life
if you
became...
lost your job, right, and you walking around here using words like remunerative, nigga, you better get you a job quick. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, use poor words.
Now look, that's a new word of the day, bro. I'm not saying that.
If you unemployed, don't be using words like that.
Remunerative.
You cannot be
it's
unemployed.
lucrative, right? It's lucrative.
Remunerative. That's a good
Remunerative
word,
employment, you know?
I would use lucrative though. I would use maybe something.
Lucrative for sure, yeah. But hey, that's
one that'll fuck you up.
Scott Galloway words, right? You sitting there listening, you like
remunerative.
I'm gonna look that up, type of deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, hit me
and you learn something like that, see?
Through Them Boys, Rich Roll podcast for sure. Shout out them. OG Lee, UNDE, Old School New School podcast. Shout out them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
There's a lot of ways you can learn shit nowadays, man.
Mm-hmm. Just depends
and
on
there's a lot of ways you can learn shit that you really don't need to employ too. So you got to be discerning, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Jesus is love.
Jesus is love. Hey, it's a Red Cup Saturday, man. Give me a little tap right here.
Bam,
Cause I got a good question for you, but we're gonna take us a quick little break.
Remunerative.
We try
to
use
that word in the sentence again.
Hey, we are here, working every day. We should be working harder, but Old School, New School, UNDE, OG Lee, we're trying to put our minds together.
Remunerative.
We're trying to put our minds together and make Old School, New School remunerative for us in our lives. For y'all right there watching, liking, commenting, subscribing.
You getting like me, man.
Hey.
Because I said, give me that in a sentence.
That was a sentence right there.
Hey,
OG Lee,
you came with a freaking paragraph.
Old School, New School.
Like me, man.
We're putting our minds together to make Old School, New School remunerative, baby. Hey, sit back there.
Wait. You said that was one of the words that you were putting in the top of your bag.
That's in the top.
You gonna be pulling that out and saying that shit?
Nah, but it's
so
in there.
That's one that I would put down like I would put down there where it can't see no light. Even.
You asked
down
me to use it in the sentence.
Remunerative.
You asked me to use it in the sentence.
No, but I'm saying to bring that one. Well, Scott is cool and all that, but that's one of the. Don't use that in the hood, man.
I told you that was a word.
Niggas gonna think you the Fed. You start using shit like that.
Comment, subscribe, man. Put y'all's mind together and do something remunerative, man. Remunerative. Hey, we'll be right back. And we back, man, on a Red Cup Saturday. Sitting here
Saturday,
with OG Lee.
We were just talking about something very interesting, man.
We were indeed.
That was the noise. You know what I'm saying? As it related to some financial things you were talking about. Mm-hmm. But that's what you got to do, man. You hear the noise, right? You got to learn to live within that, and go by your theses. Mm-hmm. If it happens to be like we were saying, real estate. That's what you stick with over the years. You know what I'm saying? No matter what noise is telling you, oh, do this kind of thing that comes up. Do this, do that. Stay with what your thing is. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. And sometimes the way the thing is, it's going to be like it's not all peaches and cream. Depending on, like I said, you have different economies, right? Like now the economy's down. There's not a lot of people building up their inventory right now. Mm-hmm. But come whatever, you stay with your thesis. No matter what people tell you, you're going to hear people saying good things about it, bad things, whatever. You stay with what you know and what you shooting for. And as long as you on target with that, that's all you care about. Because you're going to hear so much noise, man. Learn to put the noise out of it. Man. Get that noise out of there, man. Put on your earmuffs on. I see my man, he was mowing the lawn and he had those buds in, so I guess he was hearing that over the lawnmower motor. Oh yeah. Do like that in life, you know what I'm saying? AirPods. Stay with your shit. Fuck the noise.
Come on, man. Get it up out of here.
Get it out, man. Now, if it's good information, keep it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Some can go one ear out the other.
And that's the key, to know what the good information is as opposed to the other bullshit.
Have like a little kind of a decipher in the middle of your head. Let it stop. Let some go through.
Or a filter, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was going for. What did I say? A filter? No, I said a decipher. Yeah. Is that even a thing? Can you even use a word like that?
Well, I think you can learn to decipher, you know what I'm saying, by using some kind of a filter. I guess that sounds good. But anyway, when you just said that.
Let it roll. Someone would let it that roll.
When you just said that, man, I got a vision. And I guess this could be put on a shirt.
Could be a good filter name, like a name brand.
This would have to be what I just saw as far as the image that you want to put with it.
Come on, talk.
You said decipher, and then I thought filter. Yeah. I saw the top of your head, right? Think about it being
my dome.
Think about it being carved out, right?
Damn. Okay.
And sitting on top of it is a filter. If you could picture that when you're trying to filter something and catch the rest of it down on the bottom, right?
My membranes. Yeah.
So it was like you could see the filter, but once you see the top of the filter itself meshed in with your brain, huh? Okay. So it was like you would filter any of the information that comes in. Mm-hmm. It comes through and gets filtered. But I saw that as a caricature image, and I'm telling you, that shit was so powerful.
Have to talk.
Whatever.
Talk to some AI tonight. But a filter brand named Decipher. How do you feel about that? That'd be a good one, man. That's like a fierce name type of deal. But
I bet you somebody's already got this shit.
I don't know. They gonna have it now. I have to look it up.
We's free.
You know I gotta throw one free. We've been a little heavy today.
Thank God Almighty, we's free.
I've been loving it today.
Heavy makes you happy. That's what they said, man.
It make you happy. Cold hands have a warm heart. Have you heard that one? Cold hands make a warm heart. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Okay, but this right here is a good old mind crusher.
What does the cold hands got to do with the warm heart? That's random and shit.
I've heard that before.
What made you say that? Just random type shit?
Yeah, one of those just random like sayings. I forgot what you said.
I forgot too about the cold hands and the warm heart.
Cold hands make a warm heart. You said
I forgot about that. You know how you hear that something and you haven't heard it for a while, and so but then you brought it back up.
But you heard that though.
Yeah, that's what people say that. Used to say that all the time.
Hey, this mind crusher right here is Greg.
That's that old, you know what I'm saying? That's that player type shit. If you know how to say that, cold hands. Yeah. You know, in the cold.
And my hands always sweaty. You know, I said that a time or two before.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
if you happen to be in that situation, that's got to be in your bag. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, I shake people's hands randomly all the time.
But you can't be corny about it. You know
scientists have done a terrible thing.
Okay.
Once again,
shout out to scientists.
they've taken a chimpanzee and tripled the size of its brain. They shaved off all its hair. They forced it to walk on 2 legs. It can talk. It named itself Greg.
Greg?
What should become of Greg?
Shout out B-Dot, man. What's this shit? Go ahead.
Should he enter society? Do you think Greg will fit in? Triple the size of a chimpanzee brain. Shaved off all his fur. Walks on 2 legs.
The brain is triple the size of what now? Because it is a chimpanzee.
Yes, a chimpanzee, but 3 times that. So he's got a little more brain function.
The thing I don't know is, if you triple the size of their brain, what does that then put them at? What intelligence? That could be saying that I don't like that. That sounds. I don't like that one, man.
Scientists did it. Don't come at me.
Because that's sounding a little crazy, man. And then why did they have to name him Greg, man?
He named himself, but I don't really know about that part.
I'm putting that Greg, and I want you to get the image of Greg Brady.
Okay, Brady Bunch.
Because
Marsha.
I think they're trying to say that this thing, chimpanzee evolved, and this is how you can take shit out of context, depending on when you came along. You know what I'm saying? Because they used to really compare chimpanzees and monkeys to black people.
Okay.
So I'm getting my militant shit on now, right?
All right. All right.
Because now he's not saying anything that gonna make it anything different than a person. If, for instance, you saying that some black people, their intelligence is like three times that of a chimp, and now you're putting them in society. He didn't say anything that make that a strange transition, right? Because that would be some Planet of the Apes type shit or whatever, right?
Okay.
And so I just feel some kind of way about that one, because I mean, really, they used to, and I'm probably overreaching like I normally am. You know what I'm saying? But I just got that image from being in America, man. Read it again, man. Read it again.
Respectfully. Okay, this one, I will read it again. Scientists have done a terrible thing. They've taken a chimpanzee and tripled the size of its brain.
Okay. Now we got to know what point would that put him at? Go ahead.
They shaved off all its hair.
Okay.
Forced it to walk on 2 legs.
Okay, so now at this point, I don't know what a chimpanzee looked like when you shaved off all of his hair.
I don't either.
Forced him to walk on 2 legs. Let's say he's upright now. So maybe now, if you took off all of his hair, you're saying he's like a human. Because we say that humans don't have hair, most of us anyway, right? All over your body, everywhere like that. So they shaved off all of his hair. That's implying that they're making him, bringing him into human light, right? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, it can talk.
Shaved off all of his head, forced him to walk on 2s. Okay.
Yeah. It can talk.
Okay, so now we got a human being, man. Go ahead.
It named itself Greg.
Okay, so now we got Greg that's looking everything like a human being.
Okay.
Okay.
What should become of Greg?
Okay.
Should he enter into society? Do you think he'll be able to fit in?
Why wouldn't he be able to fit in? He does all of the things. He's supposed to look like a human, and he can even talk.
All the things. What do you mean all the things? He's still a chimpanzee. I'm sure
no, he shaved off all of his shit.
So what? That don't mean he's not a chimpanzee. He's just walking upright.
Hey, you put lipstick on a pig. It's not a pig.
To you, look, see, that's that freaky old school shit.
No.
Now you done put lipstick on a pig. Now it's not a pig no more, bro.
You don't know the analogy about the
No, I got the analogy.
Pig, man.
Hit me with the analogy, bro.
That's just what's said. This says that if you put something on, just because you put something on somebody you think it's changed, it hasn't changed.
So,
you know what I'm saying? It's still what it is.
So that
But we're saying that he became damn near to me a human. You shaved them all off. You taught him how to talk. He got all the brain power.
Yeah.
I would say don't let him into society.
Okay.
But if you do, if he can do all that shit, what's the difference? But now, if he just stands out like a chimp,
he might have crazy chimp strength, get mad, punch somebody's like sternum in half or something like that, you know? I don't know.
You'd be like, damn, boy, that motherfucker.
You know, he throws people.
Hey, Greg is really acting strange today.
He's trying to fit in, then all of a sudden he gets pissed off, like punches through somebody's entire
Then I came into the bathroom. I saw that motherfucker swinging on the thing.
He was slamming Bobby
and that motherfucker punched the shit out of me when I said something to him, man.
He slammed him from locker to locker. Viciously.
And that was 2 hours ago. I'm just waking up. That motherfucking Greg got a punch on him, boy.
And I feel like a chimp might not be able to get rid of the screech. Like that might pop out. You know what I mean?
They taught him how to. They said he can talk.
He can talk.
Remember, they said they didn't say none of that old screech shit though. They said he can talk, right?
There's some shit that's deep in there.
They said he can talk, man. Yo, I don't like that one. I think that one's racist. And I think if you had this with a bunch of conservative white people that really know how to show their ass, I think they would be starting to talk. I think they would be saying like, "That's how the blacks are anyway," and shit like that. Shit, most of them don't even have the fucking sense of a monkey. You know what I'm saying?
God.
I think you could bring out some shit like that from a car like that.
Oh man,
and keep that conversation going.
Hey, that's what.
But I'm sorry, I took it the wrong way, man. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. I'm just joking.
That's what old school does, bro.
All that black shit I was saying, I was just kidding, man. I was just kidding.
Oh,
just to see how that would hit you, man.
Hey, but really, before I break, I had this question for old school. You know, I know how old school do, but I don't necessarily know how old school's gonna do. Right? Check this one out. What would you say is the main difference of the men of, we say, the new school compared to the men of the old school, kind of your time, you say?
The main difference?
Yeah.
It's just on a larger scale that I look at it and just have a blanket look at it and say the main difference is what people consider as the definition of a man. That's the main difference. Because if you look at some of these guys today, if you look at the old school definition or the way men were playing it out.
What age are we going? What year time frame are you classifying just when you think of, you mean, your type of man?
It's hard to say when it just actually changed. You know, because women had a lot to do with it. So you got to go through the whole feminist movement as it was coming along, right? Because if you ask a guy, you know, an older person might say, this kind of dude here looks maybe some feminine bitch ass motherfucking nigga looking ass, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Prince type, or we're not there yet?
Not yet. But that guy doesn't think that because there's a different definition of a man today. You know what I'm saying? So he don't think that, you know, he looks a certain kind of way or he's got certain kind of mannerisms or whatever. He think he's a man. So the main thing is just the definition has changed. Like things have changed. Like at one point people was calling your people a nigga, whipping them and shit like that for not, in America anyway, right? For not working for them and producing shit for them for nothing. Now it's not like that. So things change, right? The definition of a man has really changed.
But what, as far as like the brolic aspect, or
well, the physical aspect too, like a man, and it's hard to just define, right? But like let's say you working and shit, right? And it's a rough type job, right? First of all, the man is not going to complain about shit. I mean, if it's something that he wants to do anyway, he's not going to complain about shit. Fucking finger could get chopped off. He's still fucking ready to work and shit like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah. So now, nowadays, you might have it to where they have a policy where crazy nigga, right? So now they might have a policy, right, in the place all of a sudden, that you can't do this particular job if you don't wear gloves or something like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like just a different attitude towards the way things are looked at, you know, just all down everything. It really was a lot of emphasis put on physical shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, go fight that nigga, you know what I'm saying? You get in trouble in school. Let's go bring him and let's fight and this and that, you know.
Oh, I feel like a kind of
like difference. A man fights his own battles. You don't like, and normally it was a thing of you didn't like shoot people and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
It was just like that.
Stop, bro. When did fist fight stop? Would you say?
Fist fights still go on when the motherfucker's corner and then he can't get to no weapons. But
people kill people nowadays.
And I was thinking about that today, man, because
kill people.
A lot of times when you kill somebody, right, you end up doing quite a bit of time in prison, especially for black people. Because sometimes even when you're defending yourself, before you know it, they say, no, you doing some time. And it ain't like when a white guy does it, right? Let's be real. So a lot of times, even black police, that's why you don't hardly ever see when you say, oh, shit, this dude got shot by the police. It's normally not a black person, a black police officer. Why? Because he knows they're going to scrutinize my ass more than they do the white cop. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing that somehow the black cops don't shoot a lot of people, but white cops do, or shoot people anyway. So,
that trigger happy. But people are scared though out there for real. Like,
yeah.
Scared.
Yeah. And so
pre-notions.
Yeah. Yeah. But
but on the topic.
Which topic?
Kind of police and such. New school, you know how this random thing come to my mind.
But the police, I always think, why is it? Because they just had the Air Force airman, he got killed in Florida. The police killed him and shit.
He came to the door with his gun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But see, I just think it's they police differently across the races. Because like I said, most of the time it's like, I'm sure things happen that we don't know about every case. But most of these cases you see like that, it's usually a white cop. And I'm just being real. Hardly ever do I see it being a Hispanic cop or a black cop. Because I think they realize, look, everybody is not coming to their door with the intent to kill you. If I stop these black guys over here at the corner, I don't think that they got the intent to kill me. So I'm not coming to the situation trying to rile it up, and get it to that level. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do according to the law, but I'm not going to be tripping and trying to, build a situation to the point where somebody has to be shot. And when the police shoot in America, they're taught shoot to kill. You know what I'm saying?
Execution.
And so that's another thing that could change very easily, the policy of why do you have to shoot people to kill them? Because the average motherfucker ain't 50 Cent and taking no 9 shots. If you had to, you bust that motherfucker in his arm, I guarantee you he'd be like, okay, all right, shit, I'm going to lay down. I guarantee you. You know what I'm saying? But that same person, he's dead from you killing him. Why? I mean, it makes no sense.
And they let him fly.
I guarantee you feel a fucking bullet, you'll lay your ass down. I can tell just by seeing somebody, get shot, or even an animal, you know what I'm saying? The way they react once that shock gets to their body. Ooh, shit.
Slow you down. You feel that heat up on you.
Yeah.
Hey, is there a difference between snitching and telling?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
That's something that's changed too, man. Or at least you know more about it because it's the you got all this internet shit. Mm-hmm. But I mean that's kind of easy. You know what I'm saying? No, a real motherfucker be like, if you snitching, man, you do some shit. You be like, man, I want to, maybe even go into the witness protection program, shit like that. I don't necessarily.
Oh, like you already know you're doing it.
I'm telling on the motherfucker. I'm trying to, and this is the main thing that I'm.
You just use the same term. You just say you telling.
No. The main reason that I would be snitching is I'm trying to get myself out of something. Usually,
okay,
right? If a motherfucker's down, and then you really would hope that people wouldn't know your identity. But a motherfucker who telling he saw something, and no matter whether he was gang or whatever, that shit was against his principles. And he's like, yo, that shit was fucked up. That's the motherfucker who did it right there. I'm willing to stand in front of this motherfucker on the stand and say that. That's how wrong that shit was with this nigga doing this shit.
You kind of
like so he's fucking flat. He telling this shit.
You're a citizen if you're just telling, but
no, he did some foul shit, especially when it used to deal with anything that used to fuck around and be against kids.
Even when you gang.
Even when you gang, it's certain things that you like, yo, that shit is unacceptable, man.
I thought if you gang, it's snitching either way. No?
Anybody could interpret it any way they want to, but I think if a man is willing, and see, this is the thing too, a snitch if you give them the opportunity to say, look, you could give this information up and nobody can never know who you are. Mm-hmm. A motherfucker who's willing to stand on what he believes, he'd be like, yo, you could tell him who I am. I'm willing to tell it. This motherfucker did it right here. You know, he's the one who came in and did blah, blah, blah. You know, not that you got a lot of people who, don't do that, but if you don't put it within that, then you got a whole, everybody's a snitch damn near. Mm-hmm. You know? But to me, it's a major difference. And you'll see some shit, which you live a long time, you'll see some shit that you just be like, yo,
you gotta say
at the
something.
point in time when I was here, when that shit happened, that shit was fucked up. He didn't have to do that, or she didn't have to do that. Them motherfuckers deserved some time out. You know what I'm saying?
Sit your ass down. I wouldn't want anybody to get incarcerated, though, truthfully. That's kind of the other part of it.
Man, listen, this is what I would love motherfuckers to do, if they could do it. And they could do it. It's just a matter of mindset. It would take a lot, right? But when you go into the prison, right, it's just like, and remind me to say this about real estate, but when you go into the prison, right, mm-hmm. the government basically overall takes care of that, right? You never see a state penitentiary say, we ran out of money to where we can't run this place. They can always run the place, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a place that's pouring money in, and if you want to do it, they'll give you these different programs. You could start based on what you want to do, getting all of these different things, and you could be learning Spanish and this and do all of that, right? Yeah. So you go into a place like that and you start using the programs that they got so that when you come out, you know what I'm saying? You're making yourself a better person. Yeah. Just if that starts happening, right? Then it's like incarceration doesn't work. Start using incarceration if that happened to you. Start using it as a benefit.
What kind of programs they got in there? Every facility has those kind of programs?
I don't know about all of them, but it's enough of them that have that, because I think it's almost like a government requirement that if you got people incarcerated, they've got to have certain this and that and whatever. And I do know people and have heard of people who got like their GED while they were in prison, right? So if you in like a low security prison, there's no reason why they wouldn't be able to have different trades and all of this kind of stuff, right? So start demanding that incarceration be, the place would do it if they were forced to. But people in their mindset, if you could change like that to, I got this bid, I'm going to go in and I'm going to use that shit to my benefit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Provided you didn't get life. Ooh. But yeah, just start using that, to your benefit. And what I was saying about real estate is like, when black people move into a white neighborhood, a lot of times, over time, you start seeing the white people move out. That's just what it is. Yeah. So I always thought that black people, if they organize their money, could get some good real estate just from an organized way of just, okay, we buy up a property. We go in, barbecue, start doing all of this type of stuff, right? Yeah. And I mean, and don't do it really, to go way extreme, but just stuff that that they look over and damn, they don't like that. Yeah. But there's nothing they can say. But right? But this is my neighbor, right? So before you know it, that place, right? They could have been $1 million properties, right? Yeah. The value starts coming down, and then systematically you go into the neighborhoods with that black money and buy real estate like that, right? Buy it strategically. One here, right? And let's just say they took $3 million. That's nothing compared to what black people could raise, or any black organizations for that matter, right? And so you just systematically get neighborhoods like that. It could be beachfront property, whatever it is. Systematically take neighborhoods like that. Because we know how they're going to react, right? It's like, oh, look at this place. Oh, this is nice. It's by the beach. It's just start moving black people in. I mean, I'm telling you. And they'll start slowly but surely moving out, and you take valuable properties away. Yeah. And you didn't raise no kind of guns. You didn't raise no kind of guns. And then keep those properties. Now you go back. Boom. Keep those properties up. Look at where this property is located. You got nice, good property. Mm-hmm. And we could take so much real estate like that.
We definitely could.
just playing them on how they be playing us.
Really,
Niggas do this, do all the stereotypes that they talk about.
Skit,
do
bro.
all of them.
That's
and just,
skit.
I'm telling you, but do this shit for real.
Yeah.
You know, get together, get the monies, and start targeting neighborhoods. And man,
car shows on
you will
Wednesday.
start seeing, that's one of the ways you could raise black wealth from real estate. Hilarious. Start moving in, because it takes a lot. It's going to take, one person or two people can't do it in our culture, right? So all get together, target neighborhoods, and take good properties away that's got good schools and all of that shit. And you just keep the school as they move out. It takes probably about 10 years, but 10 years goes like that.
ASAP. Oh, hey, you know how I hit you with new schools?
New school.
You hit me with old school sometimes too, bro.
Yeah.
Where it's
I hit you with old school. That's all I know, man.
Because people, I don't know if they sleep. They don't know we neighbors, right? So sometimes in passing, you hit me with, you know what I mean?
Booyah.
Hey, we talk about this, but you hit me with the
something to talk about.
Respect for energy.
Oh, yes.
What you mean by that one, bro?
Man, I was listening to this I think it was a TED Talk or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But it started talking about, and I think it was somewhere in Africa they were talking about. Mm-hmm. And they were saying, like, even in the best conditions, this place was liable to have these intermittent power outages, so it was like nothing to wake up and not have power, nothing to go to bed without power, nothing, maybe not to have power a day sometime or whatever. So I thought about that, and he was saying how energy is so precious, right? Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about that and thinking about America, because he also start talking about how, if a person has even a clock or something like that, they don't just leave it on all the time, and just different things, like we leave a microwave plugged in, all of that kind of all stuff. Night. So it was just saying, we don't think about that as Americans, right? We not, even the poorest people who have to pay, their bill, they don't think about that, in the long run, that's an incremental thing, but that would save on your bill, I don't know about everything I keep on, but, when these people, they're precious for energy, not that they have a stove, but even in the places that are developed in some countries, they still have intermittent outages, right? Because they lack energy. So even those people probably keep up the microwave plugged in. There is no reason to even have the clock on, because most people, you're not cooking a lot during the day, right? So there's so many things that you could cut energy on. I noticed, and I was mentioning it for people to be conscious of it, and it's not even the money thing. Yeah. It's just the idea that you think about not wasting in all things. You know what I'm saying? So if you know that energy, that we're taking it for granted, it really is limited. But, so you look at it and say, hey, I'm in this house. I got this light on and I got this light on. You don't think about it. And you figure right your bill, once they do get it regulated, your bill kind of hits the same based on the waste and everything that you do the same every month, mm-hmm. right? But if you think about it and say, I'm going to start cutting this light off because the light from this room is illuminating into this room. Why would I need both of them on? Right?
If the sun is out, I really not even touch.
Yeah, just even thinking about it and asking, why would I have this light on and that? You know what I'm saying? Why would I have this TV on here and then you go in the room, is a TV on? Even thinking about, man, do I leave my computer plugged in? Just different kind of stuff consumes energy that we don't think about, because we, as Americans especially, like in so many other areas, we take energy for granted. And energy is a precious resource in all forms.
Beautiful thing.
Gas, electricity.
With myself included, I don't really understand it exactly. You know what I'm saying? I respect it, I feel like myself, but I don't quite understand it.
Understand what?
Exactly how it works. Obviously I know power comes from like electricity powers things, but it gets deeper than that, obviously.
Yeah, depending on what it is, like if you're using a battery, which is what we're coming to, and the solar, you know what I'm saying? So that's a little separate energy altogether. And so we're going to learn more about that, because you're going to start getting into it more, because electric cars are going to come on board probably pretty heavy within this next year or so. Probably
Think so?
yeah. Well, eventually, what they got to do if they haven't done it already,
Just stop making.
no. They got to give a tax credit big enough to really get them into the market. Everything is about people making policies. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So all they would have to do through whatever governmental arms and shit like that is just come together and say, this is how much tax credit we're giving for this electric vehicle. And that's what ultimately going to happen. And they look and they're going to say, it's $15,000 credit, you know, and the motherfucker going to look and say, wow, $15,000 credit? Fuck. Tesla said they're going to start making some cars for $25,000. So even if they put them out for $30,000, you know, here's a motherfucker now who could go have a $15,000 credit, get a $30,000 car, finance $15,000 for the next 5 years, put them in a nice payment and all of that. That's what could change our economy, you know? And that's something like that is what is going to change it. You know what I'm saying? Give people a tax credit, just a policy to say, we give you this towards it. And that's what it's going to take for people to say, it's so good of a credit, who wouldn't do it? You know what I'm saying? And then that's going to change the face of that when you start seeing all of these electric vehicles. Yeah, otherwise, if it's not like right now, it's not financially feasible. That's the only thing. If you're an American and you're a capitalist, obviously, right? Why wouldn't you do something if it didn't make financial sense, right? So once they give you enough credit where this car makes my payments like $200 a month for the next 5 years, I'm going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, when they say that the batteries don't last that long, the average person doesn't go 300 to 400 miles a day.
True.
So they don't have to worry about their battery playing out. They get it back home, charge it again, right? Mm-hmm. So most people just go from home to work and maybe, you know, a few places around town, nowhere near the battery limit. But right now, with all of the different things that they're saying about the electric vehicle, who wants to chance it if it's going to be me going there, it costs me $38,000 or more like they charging, and I got to put all of that on that finance. You know what I'm saying? No, but once you give the people that word, which we're going to use this as a word of the day, very easy word, and we use it, incentive. Mm-hmm. Always remember that word. If you want people, people to move and groove, give them incentive. Light a fire under their ass.
You need that. Hey, and this is one of kind of the later topics. One of the last topics, maybe a better word. I'm 30, right? You've been my pops my whole life. I don't know if y'all knew this is one of the best father-son podcasts out there, right? So you've been kind of my father.
Does he look like me?
This look like my daddy?
Hey, you could get some DNA testing. I'm just saying.
No, but you know, you being my dad, I feel like I've kind of modeled myself kind of after you if I would, right?
Yeah.
But as a 30-year-old man, I'm getting to a point, I feel like maybe I could use like a mentor, right? Maybe somebody who I really could, you know, like under the wing. Like obviously I'm under your wing, but it's like I said, I've kind of modeled myself, done the things that I've seen best, but maybe a mentor to show some other things. Mm-hmm. What would you think would be the best way to, you know what I'm saying, come into like, you know what I'm saying, a mentorship or find somebody to do that for you?
The first thing is to see what you would want that mentor for, you know? Mm-hmm. If it happened to be in like a trade or something like that, obviously go to somebody who does whatever shit you want to do. The same thing with anything, you know, pick someone who, you know, you see something in them you want to be like, you know what I'm saying? Or sometimes people do it in terms of wanting to be in a certain organization. So you start befriending people that's in that. So yeah, just get with a like-minded person. And I remember I was talking about this with another twist on it. You know what I'm saying? To say that the mentorship is down. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that a lot of it was down because of the way that a lot of things are in our society as far as like the gayism and all of this type of stuff, right? So now, I mean, because mentors used to be like a man mentoring usually a younger man, right? And I bet you that so many of those relationships were good and successful, right? But now, people look at it, I'm not sure everybody, but I'm sure enough look at it and say, I really don't want what could possibly come from people with me mentoring this young man. Because the mentorships, real mentorships involves, hey, we going places, we doing this, and blah, 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 right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that there's been a percentage of people who say, well, I don't even want that smoke. You know what I'm saying? I'm an engineer. I could show this young man some of the paths to be an engineer. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I could he doesn't have a father. It might be in a vein like that, but you're always going to have, or it could have nowadays with all of this crazy shit that, people are saying. Most people, man, they really question if they should even be alone with a young man, even in a public school situation, sure. With all of this type of shit. And then, this whole thing but dealing with shit and having to have cameras in the situation, like in a classroom and all. It's crazy now. So I think it really affects that kind of mentorship, people being involved. But if you really wanted one, just see think about somebody who was like-minded in something you would want to do.
I feel like it'd be like an organic type of thing.
You want one?
Kind of, sort, not necessarily. I just kind of said that. But I feel like I could have another source to reach out to.
I was going to say you should, man, because you wouldn't want to mentor after me, man.
No, I need another source.
I'm a loser, man.
I need a source to reach out to, and then me and you and that source get together to really deliberate on some.
No, man, I as a mentor, I don't know. I came along with a time where, that's another thing, like about, manhood. At that time, a man was considered like, you don't show no feelings. You know what I'm saying? You don't show no weakness, And so, you just think about things different depending on
that's new school.
Kind of where you.
That's new school. You got to kind of sit back and realize, you could use a little help.
Yeah, but some old school, a lot of times I want to do it myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't need blah, blah. I'm, like that. Mm-hmm. And so that bravado type shit, And so I came from some of that to where it's like, I never really wanted a mentor per se, as much as if I see somebody doing something, I just watch them. You know what I'm saying? And that's the real important, because there's a lot of people who are mentors like that. I'll say mentors from afar. You don't know who's watching you doing shit. You don't know who's watching you, right? So that's why you carry yourself a certain way if you can, knowing that you don't know that, Just like if you take a teacher will never know what specific type shit she imparted in students. And the students always remember their teachers, especially in your younger years when you were the most impressible. I know. And some of them, they said things and did certain things. You remember that. They have even if they're alive today, they have no idea what they said at that particular time or did. What's the most
memorable thing a teacher did for you, bro? Just one. Give me one. I know you got one too.
Man, it's more that not like they did, but what the examples they set. You know what I'm saying? It's like even after I got out of school, I'll never forget this. And I was in this like adult education program. And the instructor was a Filipino guy named Mr. Lego. And I always remember him because Mr. Lego used to eat for lunch. He would eat in the classroom. He had a thermos with whatever, and he would always have a fucking spaghetti sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Bread with spaghetti between the bread.
And I always just remember that because, of course, people used to like mess with him. Hey, Mr. Lego eating that spaghetti sandwich again or whatever, And he, he had this still a strong Filipino English type accent. And it was always funny, man, because he'd be like, shit, man, I eat these spaghetti sandwiches. I bet you I got more money than you. You know what I'm saying? Because this is one of the ways that, you have to save your money. Where you going now? Over on 125th Street to buy, fast food or whatever. But so I don't know why he always sticks out in my mind, me seeing him sitting at the desk eating spaghetti sandwiches and shit. But that was the example for me as far as frugality.
Hey, sacrifice to get ahead.
Yeah.
Shout out Mr. Lego. Mm-hmm. Hey, shout out Old School, New School. It's UNDE.
Yo, Mr. Lego.
It's OG Lee. Mr. Lego. Hey, think of something in your life to become remunerative, if you could. Do it for old school, baby.
Wait. What's the word?
Remunerative.
I thought it was remunerative. What is
remunerative?
it?
What did I say? Remunerative?
No. What is the word?
I said remunerative.
You said remunerative.
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 Go out there.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, don't fuck with them 5-syllable words.
Hey, I tried it.
Don't fuck
Old
with them
school, new school. UNDE. OG Lee, baby. We out.